Good morning, Am. Kevin Price talking to you about you and your business on this Tuesday. You know, I hate it when I forget my name. But glad to be here. Glad to talk about some great topics here in today's program. We've got a lot to cover. By the way, if you want a personal exemption to Obamacare, if you're interested in that, we're going to tell you how to do that later on in the program. So make sure you check that out. Many of these interviews, including that one, will show up at our sister news website, usdailyreview.com. But if you wondered about your personal exemption, you don't want to pay that fine, we're going to help you with that later on the program. So we're excited about that. All right. I tell you right now, I like the title. It caught my attention, which is why I invited David Koch to be a guest on my program. One Mistake, Relentless Pain. That is the name of the book. It's described as self-help, motivational, and inspirational. But the title, I have to tell you, makes you wonder a little bit. But David, that is the theme in the end. Welcome to the program. How are you today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Tell us a little bit about yourself and your book. Kind of give us an overview.
Well, the title pretty much says it all. And it's the book is about the severe consequences that you can expect if you make the terrible decision like I did of drinking and driving. So it's one mistake, and then it's the wet blanket of relentless pain that kind of will surround you after that. And so I made the mistake, as I mentioned, about a year and a half ago, and realized very quickly that I had no clue as to what my life was going to be like and the consequences of making that choice to get behind the wheel. And I really feel like there's too many people out there that make a similar choice without understanding what the consequences are. So that's why I wrote it.
Sure. How old were you at the time?
45.
45. Wow. That's usually a younger mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a big mistake, and quite frankly, it's a mistake that a lot of people make on a regular basis. 150 million people will get behind the wheel of a car after drinking too much every year. And those are Department of Transportation facts. And 1.5 will actually get arrested. But it's
150 million. You're telling me roughly half of the population?
Well, as I said, self-reported incidents of drinking and driving. So it's not 150 million people per se, but it's 150 million times a year someone will be behind the wheel.
It's about 30 million or 40 million of the same people doing it over and over again.
yeah, exactly. That's probably more realistic. There's probably more like 50 million that do it multiple times. Yeah.
So tell me about the and when did this happen, by the way?
It happened in the middle of 2012. I worked for a large Fortune 500 company for 18 years and was actually on an interview for a promotion opportunity, and ended up doing really well and celebrating myself out of that promotion opportunity, and actually celebrated myself out of a career of 18 years. So that's just one of the massive consequences that I dealt with. But it's much more than that, and I think that's one of the big issues is that I think most people look at drinking and driving and DUI as a really harsh speeding ticket, and not what it is. And what it is truly a life-altering, potentially life-devastating mistake that people take the chance too often without understanding that.
Mm-hmm. So real quickly, kind of give us a list of some of the consequences.
Well, I mean, it starts with time in jail once you're arrested. And then it morphs into managing lawyers and managing court appearances. And that's
the opportunity cost is huge. Just the opportunity cost is huge because you have the opportunity of spending your time doing different things. When you're under that situation, you're forced to spend your time on something that doesn't make money, that doesn't improve your life, doesn't enrich you personally, doesn't make you a healthier or a better person. The opportunity cost is huge.
Yeah, absolutely, and that opportunity cost is lost or depleted for every single day for well over a year and a half, because you go from the court appearances to the actual conviction of DUI, and that's when the penalty stage steps in, and that is things like mandatory rehabilitation. They want to make sure that you don't have a drinking problem, and if you do, that it's addressed. You have community work service of a minimum of 40 hours. You've got the interlock system that you have to put on your car. You have DUI school that you have to attend, which is about 16 hours.
You had to do all these things for one DUI offense?
Yep.
Wow.
You do. And,
they threw the book at you. Where do you live?
I live in Florida, but it happened up north. But you know, you also, I lost my license for 6 months. But then those are the kind of the hard things you have to deal with, and the tangible things. On top of it, though, it's the emotional piece of it, and the stigma that comes with a DUI is that, you know, you're now like the town drunk, and that's why you don't hear of a lot of people that you might know that have DUIs, is because they like to keep their head low and keep their head below the radar, because it's embarrassing. And it's not something that you're proud of. And as a result, people don't understand, all right, what are they dealing with? And how bad was it? So you can learn from other people's mistakes. That information is just not out there, and that's really why I wrote the book.
The book is called One Mistake, Relentless Pain. One Mistake, Relentless Pain. You can find it online at onemistakerelentlesspain.com. Sounds like something that you should read. You certainly should consider maybe paying your teenager to read it and do a book report on it. It's one of those kind of books. And so I encourage people to consider doing that. How are you rebuilding your life with the minute we have left?
Well, I made the decision to raise my hand and take accountability for my mistake and try to help other people. But based on my work with the book and my efforts to get kind of the message out, I've been asked to join the Broward County DUI Task Force, which I have. And I speak at different safety councils, and I'm going out and speaking in front of corporations to kind of let them know that, let the people know and have them share this story with their employees. So similar things don't happen to those that, you know, you might go out and have 4 or 5 drinks and think, no big deal, I'll just get home. Mm-hmm. And, you know, that could end up derailing your entire career and your life. And you need to understand what the gamble is before you take the risk.
Yeah, you do. David Koch. There you go. One Mistake, relentlesspain.com. Thanks for being with us.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
When we come back, much more for you. Do want to remind you, best content here shows up over there, including this interview over at usdailyreview.com. Stay tuned for more right after this.
It's so hard to live with the things you do.